Yeah, welcome to KJTV, and we have our guest, Sam Mwangi, who is the president of Global Fatherhood Foundation. Welcome, Sam.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Joash Mumani. I'm so excited to be here again at your show.
Yeah,
Yes.
how are the fathers doing? You know, you are the father of fathers.
Oh, fathers, they're moving on. We have some few challenges here and there. We have some new opportunities. We have new fathers who are trying different things,
Mhm.
and you have fathers who are actually very, very successful. So we are learning a lot. Some they come for our classes here. They go back and they become even more better fathers.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
is a good question that we came. What is the measure of a father? I mean, it looks, we can't quantify it, but with your experience, your long experience that you have
Oh yes.
mentored many fathers, what would you say in a nutshell?
Well, I want to say thank you. Anything with fatherhood, you really touch my nerve. You touch that nerve, and I love talking about fatherhood.
I
Uh,
know.
yes, I mean, for the viewers who are watching this program, let me just introduce myself again. My name's the Samuel Mwangi. I'm the executive director of the Global Fatherhood Foundation. We are an organization who advocate. We train fathers. We advocate for their rights. We teach men and fathers who are new in this country, who are struggling in different ways, and we have different kind of services. One of them is men-to-men talk. We also have paternity rights, domestic issues, and also nurturing fathers. So we have different types of program for the men who have been. So you're wondering what we do in a nutshell.
Mm.
So let me just jump back to the true measure of a father. I always tell, I always say a true measure of a father is a father who's trying, who is, in spite of failing, a father
Mhm.
who's trying his best. You cannot be a successful father if you don't keep on trying. There's some instances in life whereby you might find things are so tough in your life,
Mm.
and you don't want to give up.
Yeah.
So so a father in a nutshell should not give up, and a father in a nutshell should be able to have good friends who really friends who can really be able to support this man.
Mm.
For instance, let's talk about our language back to our country.
Mhm.
Back to a country. When you leave work, you always go out maybe somewhere and you see men and you meet with men, and maybe you can have conversations here. Those men-to-men conversations here before you go to
Mm.
your house here.
Yeah.
But we live in a situation whereby here is different, or because I mean it's a busy life. We live different cities, but we have a car you can drive
Mhm.
easy, but then we don't spend time to see one another, and there can be different reasons why. And one of them may be because of families, maybe because of our career, our homes. So there is that gap. We don't meet a lot as men.
Mm.
And I want to say this to our men who are here: we need to create time. Time essence is very important, because also for our emotional and mental health as men.
Mm.
When I sit down with Mr. Joash and we talk about things about men, you feel differently. There are things I can talk to you, I can't talk to my kids, I can't talk to my wife. Those
Mhm.
men to men talk, and men actually we need that, and actually we are lacking that a lot.
Mm. Okay.
So yes, and another measure is just being a father who wants to step up. For instance, yeah, I've seen a situation whereby sometimes, man, we don't want to go out there in the community uh, and do what your heart feels that you can do. For
Mm.
instance, yeah, there's so many things you can do in the community. For example, you can go to a school, you can
Mhm.
help kids with homework. You know,
Okay.
you can mentor fathers who are really struggling. There are men who are really struggling. We have youth who are really struggling. So each man and each father has a unique gift in them,
Mm. Mm.
and go out and use that gift, because we need it right now. Even as an organization myself, I cannot do everything here, but
Mm.
you adding value, being a father doer, you talk to another father or reach out or volunteer in your community, go to a school.
Mm.
Then right now I know most schools they need like a teaching assistant. know, or volunteer in a in a food shelf where you can go and serve food, or even volunteer in your church to go clean. So, because I'm saying this because fathers, we need to step up, also show we live by examples.
mm,
We have to show, by examples. We have to be there at the beginning,
mm,
at the beginning of the line, by showing examples. Another thing also is just men who are they're supportive. You know, we supportive in a way. For instance, let's say like we support our spouses. You know, when you talk about fatherhood, I think I've seen most of the time we talk about fathers being involved with our children, which is very, very important. But I've seen a lot, maybe, and I'm trying to change the conversation. It's also very important also support our spouses, because a father is the head of the family. So support your spouses, support your children. When your spouse wants to go to school, it's good for the family. She wants to pursue that career in nursing, or she wants to pursue a career in any other career, and you feel that you uh, for this because you feel that that success will also add value to your house. So men, let's be there. Let's support also our spouses also.
thank you.
Yes.
Now, yeah, that's you've given it in a nutshell. There are some of the things people say, and there's one great quote I found by Sydney, who said that of all of father's teachings, the most enduring was the one about the true measure of a man. The true measure was how well he has provided for his children, and it stuck with me as if it were etched in my brain. That's I
Oh
comment.
yes.
What will you say about that statement? How do you agree with the statement?
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking I knew something about Dr. Joash. You're gonna ask me about that statement because because yeah, that statement is very powerful,
Mm,
and it's powerful in the sense that the true measure of a father is seen in the eyes of the child.
yeah.
Now, for instance, okay, let's say, and I went to a funeral session. I think it was about 2 3 weeks ago,
Mm,
and the child was actually describing the encounter with the father, how she was raised, how the impact was so great, and what kind of skills that the father was teaching this child, not knowing that one day this child will be by herself,
mm,
but then she will have those skills to take up the next level.
mm,
So it is very, very important, again, when we measure ourselves from the eyes of a child. It's the
mm,
same thing also too. How you describe your father, because of the how how your dad has impacted you. Remember,
mm,
okay, fine. Let's go back to where we were raised back home. Our fathers, we have a farm. They work so hard, so many hours because they want to get that income, and they save that money so that you can go to school, so that you can have
mm,
a good life. So
mm,
the sacrifice of the father for your success, it's also a measure. And our kids look at this is different from our kids here. Our kids here, they say you're a good father. We're involving, we have them. Like my son will come and work with me in the office, and he loves it. Now he's bringing his friends now,
mm,
because his friends were asking, how can you work with your father? So I could hear them talking, them asking, oh, your dad is doing awesome things in the community. I want to be that example. I want to come tomorrow. Can you tell your dad I want to come tomorrow? So those are the things that we do sometimes unintentionally, but from the eyes of our kids and the eyes of the community, they really make a difference. So we really need to
mm.
stress, and we do more, and we just have to do more. We keep on doing more. That's what I
Mm.
can say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've got one comment from somebody has
Yeah.
written to the studio, Gori Erickson, saying, "How can you be a father when your wife puts you down in front of children as not man enough?" I think he was typing. What would you say?
Yeah.
He's a young person. He's 34 years old.
Certainly, and actually, it's not a laughing matter because I know from what Ariston is coming from. We have, I think we live, for instance, like now we are living in a situation whereby, and I've seen it a lot maybe in our families whereby one spouse is earning more money than the other one, or sometimes we have spouses who have been raised differently, and they come into our lives. They put you down, they because they have certain expectations in the marriage or maybe in the relationship. Yeah,
Mm,
I want to say this to these ladies. We all different in one way or another. Like men, like now we are seeing a lot of them. They are struggling to be a good father. It takes time. When we were raised, remember back in our village, we used to have mentors. Mentors, a person who you agree with. You agree with a person who will be there to see your success, a
mm,
person who will give you all the resources, a person who will make sure that your success is good for the village, is good for the community, and they
mm,
really push you for that. Now it's different now where we live right now, and I'm seeing people going jumping into a relationship. They have kids, they have families, but
mhm,
they don't have the support. So we find that sometimes our women, they measure us, they compare us on the way they were raised by their fathers or where they were raised by their uncle. So they want that expectations. And I've been in meeting discussion whereby a lady will say, I want my father, I want my husband to be like this, to be like this, like this. So I tell them, but we cannot be the same. You cannot measure your
mm.
father with your husband. One thing, of course, they're different generations and the way they're doing things and the way you were raised. And we come from different families also.
But then
Yeah.
it behoves if a wife wants you to be the father, which means the father was a good role model.
Yes.
So one of the measure of fathers we have is to be good models to
Yes.
our daughters.
Oh, certainly. Yes. So in that instance, you know, I always tell this, and I always believe in one thing. Whenever those kind of whenever there is that kind of uh, conversations within the family, there is always a reason why it's coming up. And like I said, sometimes it's not even like you're comparing what he's saying. Sometimes, like I said before, even it can be the way women they compare. They want you to be in this kind of situation,
Mm,
because for the success of the kid. But I want to say this: uh, when a question like that is raised, I always say, fathers, maybe you need to look back at yourself and say, maybe, am I doing it the right way?
mm,
And it's always important to have a male and a female conversation, and talk about it, like I said, sometimes we struggle on our way, even the new fathers who are coming up,
mm,
they have struggling issues, and it's different. Sometimes you want them to be like me, and it's going to be so hard to be like me. And
mm,
next, now, for the new ones who are coming now to do your program, they learn how to do things and they tell me, oh my god, I think I'm
mm,
learning a lot. For instance, the importance of going home, of going home from work, the importance of maybe helping around, the importance of communicating, the importance of sitting down and
mm.
talking, and also our spouses in even the community events. Respect is very important. When you start putting down a man and talking him down,
Mm.
it really fucks our ego.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
you put your ego, then
yeah,
then you start
yeah.
giving up. You know.
Some of the challenges, when
Mm.
I put this up, I got many
Mm.
calls. There are so many young fathers who don't want to come on screen.
Sure.
But one of the things is that when we measure them, when we grew up, the
Yes.
measure of a man,
Certainly. Yes.
like the life we lived was hunter gatherer.
Yes.
A man was supposed to provide for the food.
Yes.
It was to work to provide for the food, and the, the wife was supposed to take care of the mother was supposed to take care of the kids.
Yes.
Now, with this changing environment, it doesn't look that we are getting new manuals. Young fathers are saying if they are going to be measured, if their wives are going to measure their fatherhood according to the mirror of their fathers who lived in a different
In a
generation,
different generation. Yes.
and they are living in a different generation, how how would you compile this, because it looks like you cannot practice hunter gatherer model
in this
in the
generation.
modern in the computer world
Yeah.
now. What do we
uh,
do?
and actually it is true. I mean, we have, if you look at the changing environment, the way our the definition of a male and a female, now it's going to be, it's a I can they cannot men cannot be able to be like how we were before, and they can, and there is a different reasons, there are different ways. I can say that one thing is because of the economic, our women earning more money, the women more money, the change, the workforce has changed. Then also remember, also we live in a situation whereby our culture has been diffused. We have an environment whereby we have a laws, for certain, for if you look at the laws, actually the way they've been modified is like they benefit certain gender than the other gender.
Hmm.
So it's going to be hard for a man like us, or the new men who are coming up, to be able to navigate this through, to be able to be like exactly like the way we are. Because uh, for example, in my house, I want to be honest with you, me in my house, me, I don't cook.
Mm.
My wife, me, I don't cook. My wife, she likes cooking. She tells me, you can't come there. She's the one who wants to cook. We only cook breakfast on Sunday. And she tells me that, and I'm okay with that. But she brings the food to the table, or I help with the table. But when it comes to cook, I only
Mhm.
cook beef, so, and and that is the arrangement. We come from
Mm.
the same era of doing things, and it works out. So you may come to my house and say, why didn't you she making food and you're just sitting down there watching TV?
I
So
know.
so we just came from a different era. Now, a modern woman now here, our new generations is different. They want things to work together. They have, again, the expectations of this man to be here. What I'm saying this, for men and young women who are going through this communication mode, miscommunication mode, or who are having struggles, it's time also you start talking to our elders. When people
Yeah.
come to my office, okay,
Mm.
go ahead.
And we are having people now living in the same house with generations.
Yes,
Different generations are living the same house.
yes,
You get like a young family. A young man has his parents who have maybe like people who live in Africa. Their parents come here,
yes,
and when now they see their son is the one cooking or taking care of children, and that
yes,
is not how they were brought up.
yes.
And that's it has become a source of conflict in some homes. What would you advise such people
Yes.
to do? Because the way the parent is measuring a father in his son is totally different from the environment he's living.
It is. I have the. Let me give you a good example. Actually, I went to a family. This family was, I think, had come from Central Province. I've come to visit their children up here. And actually, when I went to their house, they found the man was actually doing a lot. Like cooking and doing everything. So we have gone to visit them over the weekend, and he actually was doing so much. And so the dad and the mom called me. They asked me, "Hey, Mr. Mwangi, I know you are the Global Fatherhood Foundation. I mean, what is this?" And so I'm so much embarrassed because the madam comes, she sleeps, she goes, and he's doing everything. He's taking care of this kid, and it's so embarrassing even being up here. I can't even sit at the table there. I have to hide in the basement because of the embarrassment. So I told them, I asked them one more thing. When you look at your son, and when you look at his wife, have they ever argued? He said no. Are they happy? He said they look happy. Every time he comes, he will go serve food to her, and they just happy. They go together shopping. So I told them that's the definition of their marriage now. These people, they have defined their marriage to be that. So what you are comparing them with your marriage from the way you are coming up here. And I've learned to be like that also. Because if if today I went to a young father's house, and the way he's doing things there, I should not be accept. If that man is washing dishes, that is his house, and they are happy, and they have that agreement, and it's working out within the definition of that family, it's different. Who is me to Mr. Mwangi to come and tell this young man, you
Mm.
cannot do that, you cannot do that? And the marriage life in this house is fine.
Mm.
They're navigating. they're working good. Everything's fine. He's taking care of the kids, even doing the washing. So it's just the point of a new environment, especially here in the West.
So do
We are
we need
trying
to,
to look at the culture, which is
so do
also
we need
traditional
to
culture.
measure, do we need to recalibrate our instrument of measuring the success of our father? How we measure
Yes,
our father?
it is very true. How we measure our father should not be like how we measure back home. Like I said again from the beginning, it's just the way our cultural dynamics, they are here, they are different. If you look at our spouse, if you look at our men who are intermarriage with the people from here, it's all different alone. I mean, people have dogs into their house. People have dogs into their house. I see men walking dogs at night. They go back home. People take dogs to the veterinary. I mean, it's just that the life up here, you come and you get absorbed into it, and you come to enjoy it. So I cannot stand up here and start uh, saying and criticizing this person when he's happy, unless maybe he's doing it unwillingly or intentionally, and he's
Yeah.
not happy in that type of culture.
Mm.
So it is a tough taboo. I mean, not taboo, but it's a tough situation to navigate, because when you sit on one end, people are happy. When you sit on one end, you have kids. For instance, let's talk about our children now in homes which have dogs into their house. You find these houses, even the men who will tell you who they will tell me, I will never have a dog into my house. But now they have them. The kids have them. The pets here, they're part of the family. You know, so you come back from home there from our country, and we see these things. When these parents they come to my office, I tell them first of all we do a cultural 101.
Mm.
I tell them about culture one. Sometimes I even speak in my mother tongue. I try my own mother tongue, and I
Mm.
tell them this is what you're gonna see. This is how it is. As long as these people they're happy, they're navigating. It is not that they have left our culture away. We are just trying to absorb and stay within the system because honestly, sometimes you just have to survive.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
one of the comments once said is that you say the measure of a father is the quality of children he has raised.
sure. Yeah,
But in this culture, many marriages end in divorce or separation because women want to live alone, and because of that, they only want a man to pay child support without raising his kids. How
sure.
then would you expect a man's measure to be measured in the quality of children he has brought up when actually he is not raising?
I always say this: the measure of a father is not measured in monetary terms. So uh, it's rooted in our culture. For men who are raising kids, or maybe they're divorced house, they come, they are going through divorce or they're already divorced.
Mm.
Just continue, focus, and get involved with the kids, and just focus. Attend those PTO meetings, being there for them, support them, because that's the only thing you can do.
Mm.
Uh, Divorces they are rising because of different situations coming into a family. It can be a lot of things that are going on. It's true. I think our women they're able to navigate, they're able to multitask some of the things. Some of them they want to go live a life of their own,
Mm.
which is okay. And men they live a life of their own. When a father comes to me and tells me sometimes they divorce, I think the most important thing men are looking right now, if you have kids, you just want to make sure these kids they have the best in you. You want to spend time with them, you want to raise them, you want to get them involved, you want to travel with them.
Mm.
That's the only thing you can do, because the way I'm seeing marriages come up here, it's hard even people coming together. We are forced. I'm seeing circumstances whereby people that are saying, you know what, let me just maybe marry somebody else. You want to find happiness in somebody else,
Mm.
and people marrying late. You have seen that people
Mm.
marrying late, and they're finding happiness. In
Yeah.
marriage, yeah, they're finding happiness, and if that is the way to go,
Mm.
I think then it has to go that way. I mean, you can become good friends, you can part ways,
Mm.
but then let's keep for the best interest of these kids. Let's get involved. Let us support them.
Yeah.
Let's be mentors to these kids. And make sure that they have the best. Yeah.
Mm. Good.
Mm,
Good. That is very nice.
mm,
And Another one of the things is that how how can a man, if he's measured as a good model, how can a man raise to become a good model to the children?
So to become a good model to the children, you have to be a good mentor. Uh, Mentorship is very important. I mean, if you, for instance, I take myself the way I am. I mentor a lot of men, and I try to be as a good father to my family.
Mm,
I want also my kids to be involved into my work. I want them to see what I do. You
mm,
know, it's what I do actually adds value to them,
mm,
because, like I said before, when I have my son will come and volunteer in my office, he will call and he'll come. He'll bring along his friends to come and work, because they want to see. There was so much of praise. They always ask, "Oh, a fatherhood organization? I've never heard of that."
mm,
So they want to come and see what we do, and they love it. And
mm,
sometimes they share their personal experiences. Hey, my father doesn't do this. No, my father doesn't do this. So these kids also, they are learning when they come and work. Another thing is, I want to say, let's keep on trying. We don't
mm,
give up. Fatherhood is tough, is tight. It's stressful. We are going through. We are navigating through our boundaries. We are falling down. If you fall down, wake up. Let's then again have a good foundation. Let's reach out to our friends, people who are there. When you have a stable foundation, you have a person who you can be able to share whatever is going through you.
okay.
Again, I'm going to say this again and again. Those fatherhood classes are there. Let's get involved. And let's have gather men. Sometimes even we talk about fatherhood.
Mm,
Most of the time, sometimes talk about soccer. We talk about soccer, we talk about politics, we talk about
yeah.
investments, but we don't talk even about fatherhood. Because there are people who are struggling. They may have all the money in the world, but they are struggling.
Exactly. It's also one of the complaints that people complain is that
Yes.
a man is to provide for his family. So
Yeah.
most men these days work a lot. They don't have time with their children.
Yeah. It's quite
What
true.
would you advise them? Because that's one of the complaints
Yeah.
about not having time with the children.
Yeah. One thing I want to say, getting involved with your children is very important. Sometimes it's not about the monetary, it's not about the gift. You being there into their life makes a very big difference. Yeah. So to the men who are there who are working, you have to make a choice. It's either your family, it's either your kids, or it's your life. I always say this, and I'm going to say this again and again. Try to have a balanced life, a balanced work, and a balanced life.
Mm,
This money will stay here. If you want your kids, first of all, to pursue spend some time and pursue their education,
mm,
then that is fine. You can always save that money. You can always back in investment here. There's no need. You have got all this money, you're invested, you're doing good, but then your kids, they are falling apart. Your family is broken. Your
mm,
wife is broken, because you are no longer there into their life. There's no need to you to be getting all this money when the kids wake up, they don't see you. They don't even recognize their father. Do you know the pain of a father when you die and your kids, they tell the whole world you are not there for them? Do you know
mm,
the pain of a kid who goes to school and he sees other fathers who are coming to school to pick up their
mm.
kids, and you are you
And
are no you are never there for them? Do you know the pain of a father when people are eating lunch or they're eating dinner together and you are no longer there because you are working? And
mm.
again, those PTO meetings, I'm saying they're very, very important.
They are very
When I,
important.
when you go to those PTO meetings and uh, and your child sees you there, he feels happy.
Yeah, he knows that
Yeah,
you are investing. You
you're
are invested
investing.
in his education.
It is true. And also sometimes we don't even ask our kids how was school. We
Yeah.
don't how's school, how's everything. Imagine, so a teacher will reach out to you, go for the annual, they call it annual, not a PTO, there's an annual things that go with my school whereby they have their grades. You go and look, then
Yeah,
you
the
meet the
teacher
teachers.
conference. Yeah,
Yes, there's those teachers conferences. Do
yeah,
you know how many people don't go? And it's very, very
they
irritating.
don't.
They don't.
And,
I
and
think
that's one of the areas which
it's
we
one
have
of the
failed.
areas. It
Mm.
is true. Yeah, because now you don't even know how your kid is performing at school. Let me tell you another story. A story of a man, of a young girl. Actually, she was being put in English as a second language. Very nice, very clever. I mean, very bright.
Mm,
It's against, but she's being put there because the way you put the kid doesn't know. So and she's going all the way to element to we have the mid school.
mm,
So I'm going to school one day and I said, okay, I saw them and I said, you can tell because they have the second, they have those teachers who teach a second, the English as second language.
mm.
So I reached out and I said, sir, why is your child doing doing English second language? She's a bright girl because I mean, I know them. I mean, I know this family. She's very bright. I mean,
Yeah,
I've seen some of the gifts that they get. The man didn't even know. He said, oh, we're supposed to be doing that. I say, no, do you ever follow up with
yeah,
your grades for your kids? You
that's
don't
true.
do that, so
Hmm.
it's I can say it's a bit irritating sometimes. I think we neglect doing that part,
Mm.
and I don't want to say I don't want to say it's ignorance, but I think we just need to step up a little bit. We just need
That's
to
true.
step up on what to do.
Yeah, actually, I want us to finish with this clip. I like playing this clip about this absence of parents.
Father! Mother! Where did you go? We no longer see you. How have you been? Do you remember you have kids? Since you got that big job, bought a car, bought a tablet, and big phones, you forgot all about us. You wake up very early in the morning, leave for work, not knowing how you have slept. In the evening, you come very late from work, only to find me and my siblings asleep. On weekends, Mara, you're going out with friends. Oh, Mara, you're doing what? When are you going to find time for us? Immediately close school. They have CC. You take us to Geshagi, only to come for us when schools are opening. Dad, Mom, do you know you're strangers to us? It's true, feed us well, clothe us, and take us to expensive schools. Higher house girls that atindo tusifanye kazi yoyote. Bravo! Bravo for that. But who? Who will teach us to be men and women who can depend on themselves? Dad, Mom, I will really want your company. Sit down with you, have a laugh together, tell you about school and my personal life. Cause I also do have a personal life. Do you even know which class I am? School meetings you don't attend. You always say, Niko busy sana. That's why we are turning out to be big men and big women who are just like babies. Parents, set aside time to get to know your kids. Your presence matters more than your presence. Thank you.
Wow.
Well, eh, you know, if there is something which you can hammer through
Sure.
a success of a bad, and there is something he talked about developing them to be men. You
Yes.
are not developing to be big boys or babies.
Yes, big
That
babies.
is exactly how can we
Yes.
prepare our children to be strong men. It looks like if we are a generation which worked hard, we
Yes.
became strong men, but we are pro, manufacturing very very weak men.
Yeah, it
What do
is.
you say about that? I think that summarizes exactly what
No,
Mr.
actually, that's very powerful. Listen to that young man talking. It's exactly what is happening.
Yeah,
We are not passing those man skills that we learned from our community to our kids.
yeah,
We have kind of come to a point whereby I think we are focusing more on the materials. We want to be successful. We are thinking about it's about us.
yeah.
Instead of now thinking about now as a family. And it is something which is going on. I mean, you want to see people, they want to drive nice cars, they want to live in big houses, they want to
Mhm.
make more money, and believe me, the more you want to live in those kind of that kind of life. It's an expensive life. You have to work hard to maintain that kind of life. So you have
Mhm.
to make a choice between your kids. Again, I think also we are living in a point whereby instead of having that involvement, we want to measure yourself in terms of success, and
Oh,
you
oh,
put
yeah,
money.
the kind of car you have, the
That
kind
kind
of
of
house
so
in.
yeah. So
Yeah,
you wanna measure yourself to to be at that point. And you know, in our community, sometimes people wanna compare. You wanna be successful. You wanna be
Yeah,
this, but it's our children who are
that's
really
what they
suffering.
should
Yeah,
be
they're really
most
suffering. And like the young man who said, they just want to be there. Ask them the how's your day, or eat dinner together, have play together, hold their hands, take
important.
vacation together, go to church together, go to even come to their schools for lunch, have a lunch date together. You know, go to the movies together. Those involvement, those small things to our kids, they are
Matter.
very important. You know,
Mm.
so
Ah,
yeah, we really need to I can say, we need to prioritize about our life, you know, which is very, we need to prioritize what do you need, you know. You cannot, you there's a fine, definition of balancing, you know. You cannot go beyond this, you cannot beyond this. I know you want to make money, you're looking about retirement, but we can still balance and still be
yeah,
good fathers, get our kids involved, and support our homes here.
thank you. Yeah, we have come to our time is over. Thank you very much. We'll continue this
Oh,
talking
thank you.
about global fatherhood next week. It
Yes,
was nice having you in the studio. Thank you for your wise advice and continue advising those fathers so that they can be successful.
thank you, thank you.
Thank,
I do appreciate again. Thank you for
thank
becoming to your